there so I can make sure I got everybody thanked that helped us in recruiting. But appreciate everybody being here and showing the interest in our class of 2014. This is the most complete class and talented group of quality young men that we've been able to sign since I've been the head coach here. This class represents, from start to finish, for the first time ever, without a decommitment. Since I've been the head coach here, it's the first class that we had the majority committed in the spring and summer, like what happens in recruiting now, and we did not have a decommitment all the way through. We've obviously secured a very balanced class of approximately 40 student athletes that'll be a part of our team in the summer. There's so many people to thank in recruiting, as I've spent a number of years doing this, and especially over the last few years, how recruiting has evolved and changed, the way it works in the spring and then up through the season. It's so important that we don't make a mistake, and we try to dot all our I's and cross our T's all the way through. And there's been a number of people, recruiting is the very most important thing we do here. It's the lifeblood of our football program, to bring quality young men in that want to be a part of the team and want to graduate, and want to compete for a championship. So I'd like to express my appreciation for the tireless effort and the great teamwork from the people that really contributed to this class. Obviously, our assistant coaches are tremendous. This is by far the best recruiting assistant coach staff that we've had since I've been here. These guys are excellent. They build relationships. They have good people skills. The coaches in the schools that's important that we have a relationship in. They have established relationships. They've done a great job. Our recruiting office, there's a number of people in our recruiting office that work tirelessly on weekends, at nights. It's kind of a 24-hour process that used to be over a 4 to 6 week period. Now it's over a 9-month period. Our administration staff that works on transcripts, eligibility, grades, all the different areas that we try to increase the core GPA and the test scores for the young men that we're bringing in here. It's not easy to get that information and to get it formulated into a manner that we can predict the academic outcome of some of these young men. Our Orange Pride, the young ladies that help us recruit, are tremendous. They're such a great resource of information. They're bright. The parents, the players, everybody enjoys being around them, and they do a great job for us. Our strength staff, obviously, Rob Glass, his staff during recruiting, he works as our nutritionist and helps our players in determining what to eat and make their body bigger and stronger. Our equipment staff, the players that come in here, they want to see the new uniforms, they want to see the helmets, they want to see the shoes, they want to see the bowl gifts. They do a great job. Our medical staff, obviously. There's parents. One thing that's changed in recruiting over the last few years is very seldom do we ever have a young man come in here that he doesn't have his family with him. Didn't used to be that way in the past. So there's a lot of questions about your medical staff, video staff, and all the different ways that we can help our young men in practice, video, with our cameras, our different angles, HD, high quality, everything we can give them to improve themselves when they watch them from practice. Our academic staff with Terry, Marilyn, Nikki, there's about 35 people down there that work, and we bring players in sometimes on an itinerary, and then sometimes they show up, and they have to come on the weekends and spend time with them because they want to show them what we have academically, and it's very important. Couldn't do it without them. And our academic side of campus, our professors, our deans that are willing to take their time, meet with these players, their families. The bond between the athletic side and the academic side of campus here is so much stronger now than it used to be when I first got the job, and we're very proud of that. The group of men and women that donate private air travel for us, it would be extremely difficult for us to accomplish what we have in recruiting without private airplanes. There's days that I'm in Dallas, I'm in West Texas, and I'm in Houston in the same day. And I may hit 2 or 3 in Dallas and 1 in West Texas and 2 or 3 in Houston. That obviously couldn't happen without private air. Houston one day, New Orleans one day, Atlanta. So we couldn't do it without those guys. I know it's expensive, and we appreciate their support. Coach Holder, you know, Coach is, he's allowed us to go whenever we want, wherever we want, and it's kind of, we joke about it as a staff, but he just opens the checkbook to us in recruiting. You know, he never says it's too expensive. When it comes to recruiting, he allows us to do everything we need to do, and I know it's not that way at every school, but he's been tremendous in that area, and never questions it. He trusts our decision-making process and allows us to go whenever and wherever. The wives, spouses of all the people that I mentioned, takes a lot of time. And in January, we're gone several days, get home late at night, gone weekends. Our kids have activities just like you guys, and when you work on the weekends, it makes it difficult. But our wives, our spouses, for the people that are involved in recruiting, have been tremendous for us. The community in Stillwater, I say it every year, may be as important as anything we do in recruiting. When these parents come in with the young men and they get out in the community, some of them go downtown just to spend time, to be around the people, go out on the east side of town, wherever, and the people in Stillwater and the community don't even know it, but just the hospitality that we have here is tremendous, and it's important in recruiting. Joel Tubman, our team pastor, and the message he has for recruiting, the development of our young men is unbelievable. He does a great job with them. I appreciate what he does. And the high school coaches. I think sometimes we forget the list of the young men that I'm sure you saw on CoachGundy.com and in those sheets, the high school coaches. It's not just Oklahoma State coming in there. It's the other 10 or 15 schools that come in the same day. And if you just image, you guys now, most of you guys don't work out of an office anymore, but if you had a desk job and just imaged 20 people coming in and wanting 30 minutes of your time a day, how difficult it would be to satisfy those college coaches and also prepare for what they're trying to accomplish in off-season and spring training, and then handle their players and their families. And so we appreciate the high school coaches and the time and effort they put in to helping in recruiting. And last but certainly not least, the players on our team, our current players, are by far the best recruiters we have. They do it every year. We bring them in here. There's 12 to 18 months, and at times now even 24 months that go into recruiting a young man. And if they come in to visit and we turn them loose, we take players and we show them everything they need that we think is going to be involved with their everyday lifestyle of them during their time here, but then we turn them over to our players. And we encourage that, and we want them to ask questions. We want them to ask our players what it's like to be here. What's Coach Gundy like on a daily basis? What's Rob Glass like? What's Mike Yersich like? What's Glenn Spencer like? We want them to ask that because that's really the real life of college football. There is a side of recruiting that is somewhat like a used car salesman because we're all out there promoting and telling everything good about our schools. But when they come here, we encourage them to spend time with our players because they're going to tell them the truth. They're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Now that Whedon and Tyler are gone, there's nobody here that's 28. So at that age, they tell the truth. And the guys on our team are coached and treated with respect on a daily basis, just like we tell them in recruiting. When we sit in those homes with those families, we tell them, if you come here, we're going to teach you and coach you. We're going to build you up. We're going to try to make you better in the classroom, on the field, and out there on the streets. And we tell them that. They believe it. The players up here believe it because we back up what we say. And when they come in here, our players recruit them, and they tell them, if I were you, I would come to Oklahoma State because they're going to take good care of you. So I appreciate them. They're energetic, and they're obviously huge in this recruiting class. It helps us reload our team with quality people and quality young men who fit the mold of what we're looking for. So with our class, with all those things, and that being said, as I mentioned earlier, approximately 40 players, the most balanced and well-rounded class that we've had since we've been here. It's obviously a big class. You have 28 go out, essentially. You have 28 come in, and so it was a huge class. There were some times during the season, recruiting a year ago, that I was concerned. It's not easy to sign a large class like this, but we were able to get it accomplished, and I'm really excited about getting them in here. And I say that just from the standpoint of without going down the list. I know you guys got all the information off CoachGundy.com on each player, and so without, I'd be here for 2 hours trying to talk about each player. But you have a quarterback, you have wideouts, you have running backs, you have offensive linemen. We picked up a tight end for the first time in a number of years. You have defensive linemen, you got backers, you got safety, you got corners, you got punter.